please take a moment to increase the brightness on your device for optimal viewing.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Sketchy Friendly, where every day I tell you a story and I draw a picture to go along with it. So just real quick, I draw in blue for a little bit, then I get into drawing with graphite, so please bear with me. If this is too dark for you, please just crank your brightness all the way up on your viewing device. And last, if you're on your phone and this image seems too small, just turn your phone horizontal. That way the image will fill up the entire screen and thus look bigger. All right, so today I'm going to talk to you about an observation that I've made about emergency situations and who rises to the occasion in an emergency. So, with that said, I just wanted to talk to you about just an interesting thing that I've seen firsthand many times, because I used to work with dogs professionally as a dog handler, had a dog daycare. And because of that, I was in small areas, small yards, enclosed spaces that, things sometimes could pop off between dogs. And if you're good at watching dogs, you can prevent a lot of that from happening, because you start seeing a buildup of tension between dogs by reading subtle cues that you kind of have to learn just by being with dogs, being around dogs. A lot of stuff that people don't normally notice unless they're trained and have experience. That said, I've been doing it for quite some time. I've said before, I've have 8,000 hours of eyes on dogs. And I didn't have many problems. There were occasions where I would have to break up scuffles between dogs, but for the most part, I didn't have any real major issues because I was on top. I was really on top of the dogs. I knew what was going on. I watched, but we had people that didn't have as much experience, or they just didn't pay attention, or they just, some people just don't have what it takes. It's just not in their makeup to watch dogs for a living. I use this as an example because this is what I've seen it over and over again in this line of work that I was in. But it can be for anything, any type of an emergency. What I noticed was you can't determine who is going to be able to pull it together, because it takes split second just reaction. And I'm going to tell you right now, you can't assess who are going to be the dependable people and who are the ones that are going to actually jump in and help or get on top of the situation to stop it until the situation happens. And you'll be surprised. I was surprised many times because I would have a situation happen where two dogs started getting into it. So I had to jump on the dog that was, starting the problem, because you always want to go. You never want to jump after the dog that's getting attacked, because they'll be fine. They'll get away if they can get away. You want to go after the dog that is causing the problem, because they're leading the charge, and then other dogs sometimes will just get all amped up and they start joining in on ganging up on the other dog. So it's imperative that the first person in the yard get on top of that dog that's causing the problems, or that's in the yard, and then other people can join in and they can start escorting other dogs out of the yard, or they can go, just kind of push the other dogs away from that one dog, just kind of mix it up and take care of the situation. But on many occasions, I would be rolling around with the dog, and people that I was working with, they would just stand there, just stare at me. And you always hear these things on the news where, oh, a person was attacked and people just stood around, and some people were even shooting video on their camera, recording it, but nobody stopped to help or nobody called the police. And, you always hear about that stuff happening. And I can't tell you how many times I was like rolling around on the ground with a dog, trying to just get them under control. And people will just stare at me, just this blank expression on their face. Like I could have fallen down and the dog could have been on top of me and, biting me, or this never happened. But I mean, imagine if I'd slipped and then the dog jumped on me, and then they would just stare at me. They would have just not done anything. And it made me so mad. But then I have to think, like, this is very, like, when something like this happens, it's very primal. And something in your brain, it's that fight or flight mechanism that you have really, it seems to me that you don't really have control over. You either you're going to do something or you're going to not do something. And I tell you, a lot of people, they don't do anything. I had people who were like big 6 foot something guys that I would have thought would have jumped in and helped me, but they just stood there on the other across the way, just staring at me. And then on the flip side of that, I've had, when something like that went down, a girl that wasn't even 100 pounds, wasn't maybe 5 foot something, not hard, really tall, tiny girl, leap over the fence and get in there. And was like, I didn't even know how they got in there. I realized afterwards they had to have jumped over the fence because they didn't let themselves in through the gate. They leapt over the fence and were right in there, helping me get the situation under control. So you can't predict these things. I mean, here's another example. I have this buddy, his name is Will. He's probably about 90 pounds. But several times he, like, out on the street, I used to work in Berkeley, downtown Berkeley, and it can get a little dicey down there sometimes. But he was at a McDonald's one time and somebody was getting mugged, and he just jumped up and tried to help the person getting mugged. Of course, the person turned on him. He got punched in the face, and then the person that he was helping ran away. Some thanks for that, But, he's this little guy. He jumped in there. And, another time there was somebody who got their cell phones, like, snatched out of their hand by a guy on a bike, and he tried chasing the guy down. I think he got hurt, too, that time. His heart, it definitely has a lot of heart, Doesn't matter that he wasn't a big giant dude. But like I say, you can't predict these things. So it's in the heat of the moment, I get really mad and be very judgy. But ultimately, you can't expect people to do that. You just have to hope that at least somebody in that group of people will be like that little, like my buddy Will, 90 pounds, or that girl who was hardly 5 foot tall jumping over the fence helping me. That's what you hope for. That somebody like that's gonna be the one that's there, that will rise to the occasion. I think maybe you can probably train yourself, because I think probably before I was with dogs, I might have been like that too. I don't know. I don't think I've ever Well, I do recall, like, when I was in high school, I would help stand up for other kids in the class. But I mean, like, split second, like, crazy stuff. I don't know. I think maybe you could probably train yourself if you really wanted to. But, of course, that comes, you might, bring danger upon yourself. So I can see why people don't do it. But it's just a very interesting observation that I've seen over the years, that you can't look at somebody and say, oh yeah, they're tough. They're gonna jump in when I need help, because chances are they won't. And got somebody in the background here. Throw the big lunk in the background, standing there, not doing anything. It's fun. It's almost kind of, this drawing lends itself to it because it's almost kind of comical, cartoony in the way. I mean, other than, it's potentially a dangerous situation that some little tiny person that you would think would be frail or weak or scared or timid is actually the one that's got a lot of heart. And then the big guy is like, It's human nature. It's just an interesting thing. And it's interesting when you can observe these kind of situations. Like, I was in a situation where, it was not a natural thing because we were watching dogs. It's not something you see out on the street every day. And it's kind of an artificially created situation because you've got people in a small enclosure with dogs. I mean, that's not really natural. And even, I think that's one of the reasons why there's issues that happen between dogs, because, it's not like a big dog park where they got everywhere to run. They only have so many places they can go. So if some dog is trying to muscle up on them, it's not as many options. So you tend to see more things like that happen. So that's what I got to talk to you about today. It's uncomfortable to think about sometimes, but you want to hope that people help you, but sometimes it's just going to be you. And then if you're lucky, somebody that you least expect is going to come out of the woodwork and help you. And that could be for even not like crazy situations, I guess, too. It can be for, like, when the chips are down, when you're having a rough time. I find that people come out of the woodwork that you don't expect. You're like, oh, wow, okay. And then the people that you expect, well, here's crickets. Interesting, isn't it? Well, just so you know, I'm here to help. If there was a dog fight, I'd definitely be there for you. You always want me there at the dog park. I'm the one that jumps in and the dog scuffles. All right, so just so you know, I do this Monday through Friday. Saturdays, we put up the poll where you get to choose which drawing you want to see me finish up on Sunday. Sunday, I go live at 10 p.m. Eastern time, where I will chat with you and ink and color in the drawing that you guys voted for. Pick up sketchy friendly merchandise on the AMC Princess Anna webpage, and there's the shop tab. There's a Sketchy Friendler collection. We've got limited edition stuff. We also have the regular stuff. It's like tumblers, really good quality tumblers, really good quality t-shirts. If you're into that, we got that stuff there. And I'm on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. So I guess that's it. I will see you soon. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right. Bye now.